day, Savior. Bad times I'll pass with the wind. Your hand in mine stills the thunder, and you make the sun shine again. I've followed you down many roads, Jesus. I've preached your word and I've sung your gospel songs. And every road I took, you know my search was for the truth. And the clouds looming now won't be for long. Storms never last, do they, Savior? Bad times I'll pass with the wind. Your hand in mine stills the thunder, and you make the sun shine again. You never said that life here would be easy. You never said we'd have no trials here. But you did say your grace would be sufficient, and your holy presence would be ever near. Storms never last, do they, Savior? Bad times I'll pass with the wind. Your hand in mine stills the thunder, and you make the sun shine again. Oh, and you make the sun shine again. So that's a little retake of the Waylon Jennings and Jesse Coulter song, Storms Never Last, with some Christian words that somebody put in there. So Melanie and I are going to try a few songs here, and hope you like some of them. We thought we picked out some old tunes, and so we know that sometimes we dig out some of the old tunes. Here's an old hymn from the hymn book. Big John Hall used to sing it. How Big Is God? We'll give it a try.
I have to stand for this one to get to the high notes for me.
How big is God? How big and wide His vast domain? To try to tell, these lips can only start. He's big enough to rule His mighty universe, yet small enough to live within my heart. Though men may strive to go beyond the reach of space, to crawl beyond the distant glimmering stars, this world's a room so small within my Father's house, the open sky but a portion of His yard. How big is God? How big and wide His vast domain? To try to tell, these lips can only start. He's big enough to rule His mighty universe, yet small enough to live within my heart. Yet small enough to live within my heart. How big is God? Years ago, we were on vacation down in Nashville, and we went to this church Sunday night, and the pastor saw this guy in the service, and he called this guy up, and he said, "Kenny, I want you to come up and do a song." And they had a big country band there at the church, steel guitar and the whole works. And anyway, it was the guy that had written the song, The Lighthouse, Kenny Hinson. So I'll never forget, as a teenager, seeing Kenny Hinson get up from behind where we were sitting there and get up and sing this song he'd written that so many folks have sung over the years, The Lighthouse. I hope you enjoy the words to this song. There's a lighthouse on the hillside that overlooks life's sea. When it's tossed, it sends out its light that I might see. And the light from that old lighthouse will safely lead me o'er. If it wasn't for that lighthouse, this ship would sail no more. I thank God for the lighthouse. I owe my life to Him. For Jesus is the lighthouse, and from the rocks of sin He has shone His light around me, that I might safely see. If it wasn't for that lighthouse, where would this ship be? Everybody that lives around me, they say tear that lighthouse down. The big ships don't sail this way anymore. There's no use of it standing round. Then my mind goes back to that stormy night when just in time I saw the light, was the light from that old lighthouse standing on the hill. And I thank God for the lighthouse. I owe my life to Him. For Jesus is the lighthouse, and from the rocks of sin He has shone His light around me, that I might safely see. If it wasn't for that lighthouse, where would this ship be? No, if it wasn't for that lighthouse, where would this ship be? Great old song. Used to hear that song a lot, The Lighthouse. It seemed when I was a kid, everybody was singing that, and it is a great song. We've had our grandkids staying with us for 5 nights. A couple little boys have been staying with us. So the little, how old is the Reed there? 4?
4.5.
He said to his grandmother the other day, "Grammy, give me some of that elastic. I'm hungry." And Melanie said, "Elastic? What do you mean?" He said, "You know, that elastic that Papa gives me. I'm hungry." So she opened up the drawer there, and you pulled out an elastic or something, didn't you? Held it up and said, "What are you talking about? This is an elastic." He said, "No, Grammy, that
Elastic sauce.
elastic sauce that Papa gives me." And she said she still didn't know what he was talking about. He said, "You know, he puts it on a spoon. It's black." And it was molasses. He wanted molasses on a spoon. So sometimes I take the gallon
Such a
jug of
treat.
molasses, pour it onto a spoon, and give it to the grandkids for a little treat, you know, and they think they're getting a big thing. Anyway, so he was looking for some elastic sauce, some molasses. So anyway, we enjoyed having the grandkids, that's for sure. Here's a song called "Help Us on the Way." A woman in the Bible times, her last hope almost gone, touched the hem of Jesus' garment. In desperation, he said, "Woman, don't you worry, for God sent me today." And before you even asked Him, help was on the way. Just hold on a little longer, help is on the way. A brighter day is coming for those who believe and pray. It won't help tomorrow if you give up today. Just hold on a little longer, help is on the way. Troubles come, life goes by, and burdens get you down. You think no one is listening, oh, you think no one's around. Just remember what His word says, trust Him and obey. Keep your eyes toward the heavens, help is on the way. Just hold on a little longer, help is on the way. A brighter day is coming for those who believe and pray. It won't help tomorrow if you give up today. Just hold on a little longer, help is on the way. Oh, just hold on a little longer, help is on the way. I think you should do a song, Melanie. I don't do very well on these video sessions, but you do better than I do. So do a song here.
I say to Carl, just pretend you're in people's living room and you're just singing.
All right.
But it's a little weird singing to two iPads.
It is.
So it does take a little bit
I've got more
of getting used to.
I've got more of a face for radio than for video.
You have a face for radio?
So
well, I won't
help
argue
me out
with
here.
you.
Help me out here and sing something.
All right. Well,
Pull me
why
out of
don't we
this.
sing something a little faster in F, doing it by the book. Now,
right.
I don't know if any of you would have known my father, Jack Salmon, but he was the fellow that did everything by the book. And then I married someone who doesn't do everything by the book, and that's been quite tricky, quite a tricky ride.
It is.
So anyway, I always like singing this song. I think it's sung by the Whites and Sharon White.
Yeah.
Usually that's the person I learned it from.
Ricky Skaggs' wife, Sharon
Yeah.
White.
Yeah,
Doing it by the book.
doing it by the book.
So you don't need the words for that or anything. You've got it all? Okay.
I'm good.
Bernie McDougal used to say, I got it in me head.
Yes, I hope I do.
Okay.
When I was a child, there was no one like my daddy. Wherever he would go, I'd want to tag along. He lived his life hard and never took the easy way. I watched him sweat and work his fingers to the bone. Well, I won't forget the time the neighbors had the fire. Daddy didn't hesitate to bring them home. And though the times were hard, we made room at our table, and they stayed until they could make it on their own. Doing it by the book, I used to hear my daddy say, we're gonna love one another and give thanks when we pray. We tried to do the right things no matter what it took. He said, I found I can't go wrong when I'm doing it by the book. In these troubled times, when this old world gets crazy, I go back to those memories in my mind. When I sat on Mama's lap and Daddy read the Bible, I got my strength from the words that he read. I'm doing it by the book, I used to hear my daddy say, we're gonna love one another and give thanks when we pray. We tried to do the right things no matter what it took. Said I found I can't go wrong when I'm doing it by the book. He said I found I can't go wrong when I'm doing it by the book.
Doing it by the book.
Yeah,
That's a great song.
I do like that one.
Great way to remember your dad.
Yeah. Let's try Hold On Partner. Maybe you can tell
All
about
right.
this one a little bit.
All right, this was written by Roy Rogers when he was 80 years old. He wrote this song, Hold On Partner. We'll give it a shot here.
And you just need to settle down and relax.
I'm all thumbs.
I know, just relax.
Okay.
One thing I want to say is I remember my mom used to live in a nursing home, and I sure would have loved if people had done this for her.
Right on. Well, you're trying to get ahead, but you're losing ground. You've been talking about leaving town, so hold on, partner. Good things are coming to you. Well, you said it yourself, you got a lot on the ball. You bounce back every time you fall, so just hold on, partner. Good things are coming to you. Well, it looks like you've been born to lose, and sometimes it seems that way.
But don't give up. Tomorrow just might be a wonderful day. So many people and things can get you down. It only takes one man to turn them around, so just hold on, partner. Good things are coming to you.
It's an up and down world, and you can't change it. You might get a chance to rearrange it if you hold on, partner. Good things are coming to you. It's a great big race, and we're all in it. You fall behind, but you still could win it if you hold on, partner. Good things are coming to you. Well, it looks like you've been born to lose, and sometimes it seems that way. But don't give up. Tomorrow just might be a wonderful day. So many people and things can get you down. It only takes one man to turn them around, so just hold on, partner. Good things are coming to you. So just hold on, partner. Good things are coming to you.
Now, we like that song a lot. It's a happy song. But, you know, we know good things don't always come to all of us. But when we know that we have that hymn, that God that we can turn to, that helps so much.
Yeah, for sure. So we've got a few other older songs picked out here. How about Consider the Lilies? Are you up for that?
Okay, well, maybe.
Are you?
I could try
Or
it.
we can do Supper Time, too.
Well, let's do Supper Time first.
All right. So we're doing this singing here, like Melanie says, singing to two iPads, and that spotlight's shining right down on my thinning hair too, so I'm getting pretty warm here. I had to speak somewhere yesterday, and I was getting ready to step up to speak at this service, and I whispered to Melanie, "Could you clean my glasses for me?" So she took my glasses and cleaned them, and somebody else was speaking, and it was my turn to come up next to speak at this funeral, actually, and well, they were quite blurry, and I thought, my eyes are going bad, and I took them out again, and I got her to clean them again. They were only blurrier. And then I finally took my mask off and cleaned them with my mask, and I still really couldn't see, but the Kleenex she was using were the ones that had lotion on them. And so she was cleaning my glasses with these lotion.
I forgot about that part.
And I was getting fuzzier and fuzzier all the time. So anyway, we're going to do our best
We
here.
got through it.
Get the old bifocals tuned up here to Supper Time. Let's see how we make out. Roy Hempel used to love this song. Out in Knowlesville there, I was Roy's pastor for quite a few years, and he always requested this song. Many years ago, the days of childhood, I used to play till evening shadows come. Then winding down an old familiar pathway, I heard my mother call at set of sun. Come home, it's supper time. The shadows lengthen fast. Come home, it's supper time. We're going home at last. One day beside her bedside I was kneeling, and angel wings were winnowing the air. She heard the call for supper time in heaven, and now I know she's waiting for me there. Come home, it's supper time. The shadows lengthen fast. Come home, it's supper time. We're going home at last. In visions now I see her standing yonder, and her familiar voice I hear once more. The banquet table's ready up in heaven. It's supper time upon the golden shore. Come home, it's supper time. The shadows lengthen fast. Come home, it's supper time. We're going home at last. We're going home at last. Written in 1950 by Ira Stanfill. Yeah, Roy Hempel, he would request that song in church, and we'd get singing it as a congregation, and Roy would be there, and the tears would be running right down his face. He always said how close he was to his mother. Roy collected clocks. Some of you folks maybe remember Roy. He had over 400 clocks in his home, and I'd go in there and have a visit with him, have lunch and stuff, and he'd tell me all the stories about all the different clocks. And he always wanted that song, Supper Time. He loved it. Is this what we're up to next?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
We learned this one from Bernie and Gail McDougall, and always enjoyed their singing when they were able to sing together, and we've picked up a few of theirs and still continue singing them today.
This is a great song called Go On Through. It's a message that we all need to be reminded of on a regular basis. Go on through. Jesus showed us that a heavy cross is not an easy load, and a bed of roses never will you find he's offered you. But his words, I'll never leave you, nor forsake you, says today. You can stand and take his hand and go on through. Though the mountains may be high, they're not uncrossable. Though the valleys failed when tried, it's not impossible. That old desert may be dry, that old river deep and wide, but follow the footsteps of the guide and go on through. Oftentimes my vision blurs with tears and hope. I've lost all trace. The many miles I've run and the deeds I've done, they seem but just disgrace. Oh, but with the simple prayer, he lifts me up and he starts my feet out new. Then I hear within my ear, it's time to go on through. Though the mountains may be high, they're not uncrossable. Though the valleys failed when tried, it's not impossible. That old desert may be dry, that old river deep and wide, follow the footsteps of the guide and go on through.
desert may be dry, that old river, deep and wide, follow the footsteps of the guide and go on through.
Go on through.
We all need that encouragement to keep
Don't we,
going.
though?
Yeah, all this time with dealing with COVID and limited amounts of people that we can see, and it's been very difficult, and I think especially for people that, like you, that are living in the nursing homes with limited visitors. So we sure think about you.
For sure, for sure. So we were going to do Consider the Lilies.
Yeah.
What do you think? You feeling up for that one?
Yeah, okay, I'll give it a try anyway.
All
Have it a little drink first.
When we were kids, I'm the oldest of 5 kids, so my dad decided he was going to quit his job teaching school, and we were going to get a motorhome and hit the road singing. So anyway, we were all teenagers. I was 16 or something, and so we got a trailer to tow on behind the motorhome with all our gear, and we decided we were going to leave Newcastle and head out singing. And we had this lady boarding with us, and she was the phys ed teacher in Newcastle. Charlie Gallagher's daughter, Sally Gallagher. She was boarding with us at the time. So I remember we got her in the living room there, and we all sang for, and Dad said, we're gonna go singing this winter for 4 or 5 or 6 months out on the road. And what do you think, Sally? So we sang a couple songs for Sally, and she said, well, it sounds okay, she said, but I don't know if I'd do it in public if I was you. So anyway.
Yeah, but you went anyway.
We went anyway.
Yeah.
We didn't pay attention to her.
No.
Yeah. Here we are singing in public here today.
When Carl and I met, I thought, I don't think I want to marry a gypsy.
Right.
So, but anyway, I've got him pretty well nailed down here in Carleton County now.
Yeah. This is a great song, Consider the Lilies. And it won't be long, and some of the flowers will be poking up through a little bit. So Melanie does a great job on this song. I love the words of it, and it's a very heartfelt song.
Consider the lilies, they don't plant nor sow, but there's not a king with more splendor than them. Consider the sparrows, they don't plant nor sow, but they're fed by the Master who watches them grow. And we have a heavenly Father above, with eyes full of mercy and a heart full of love. He really cares when your head is bowed low. Consider the lilies, and then you will know. May I introduce you to this friend of mine who hangs out the stars, tells the sun when to shine, who kisses the flowers each morning with dew, but he's not too busy to care about you. And we have a heavenly Father above, with eyes full of mercy and a heart full of love. He really cares when your head is bowed low. Consider the lilies, and then you will know. Consider the lilies, and then you will know.
Well, do we have time for one more song, Melanie? And then
Well,
we'll
we
wrap
do
it up
have
here.
one more, yeah.
Okay. Let's do this one. He hears, he cares, and he can. Did we practice this one? Yeah, I think we did. All right. All right. We'll practice it right now while we're doing it. When angry waves toss your ship on the stormy sea of life, and the clouds of sin and sorrow turn your brightest day to night, just remember, though you drift off course, you won't drift out of his hand. And if you need someone to help you, Jesus hears, he cares, he can. Yes, he hears your faintest whisper, sees each tear that fills your eyes. He's concerned about each stormy cloud that darkens your blue sky. So if your problems can't be solved by the mortal mind of man, and if you need someone to help you, Jesus hears, he cares, he can. When the straight and narrow highway leads to valleys deep and wide, though you search for the horizon, there's not a mountain peak in sight. Just remember there's a city, eternal rest at journey's end. And if you need someone to help you, Jesus hears, he cares, he can. Yes, he hears your faintest whisper, sees each tear that fills your eyes. He's concerned about each stormy cloud that darkens your blue sky. So if your problems can't be solved by the mortal mind of man, and if you need someone to help you, Jesus hears, he cares, he can. And if you need someone to help you, Jesus hears, he cares, he can.
Well, thank you for listening to us and putting up with all our little mistakes that we made along the way, but just know that we're thinking about you.
Yes.